Have you ever noticed how the world keeps telling us to act fast or don't waste time? We live in an age of speed, fast food, fast internet, fast answers. But Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, believed the opposite. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is nothing at all. Not out of laziness, not out of fear, but because waiting, observing, and letting time do its work can be more powerful than any rushed action. Imagine this. You're in an argument. Someone insults you, pushes your buttons, and your instinct is to snap back. But the Stoics remind us, what happens if you don't? What if you stay silent, let the words float in the air, and simply breathe? In that stillness, you win twice. First, you keep your peace. Second, you rob the other person of control over your emotions. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." He's saying, your reaction is the real battlefield, not the situation itself. When you practice patience, you're not being passive, you're being powerful. Think about nature. A seed doesn't force itself to become a tree overnight. The river doesn't rush straight to the ocean in a single day. Everything great takes time. Marcus knew this. He ruled during wars, betrayals, and plagues. Yet instead of reacting with panic, he often paused. He reflected. He let clarity come before action. Now ask yourself, how often do you let impatience steal your peace? Do you check your phone every few minutes because you can't stand waiting? Do you rush decisions just to get them out of the way? Here's a practical Stoic exercise you can try. Next time you feel the urge to act immediately, stop and count slowly to 10. Ask yourself, does this really require action right now? Or is this just my emotions rushing me? You'll be surprised how often waiting reveals a better choice. Another method, journal like Marcus did. Before making a decision, write down your thoughts, your fears, your options. You'll see that writing slows you down, and slowing down often saves you from regret. Patience is not weakness. It's a shield. It protects you from your own impulses and from the chaos around you. The world wants you to rush. The Stoics want you to breathe. So, when life feels like it's pushing you to react, try doing nothing for a moment. That silence may be the strongest response of all. Picture this. You're caught in a storm. The rain is pounding, the wind is howling, and the sky is dark. What do? Do you try to fight the storm, shouting at the thunder, pushing against the wind? Or do you wait, calmly, steadily, knowing the storm will pass on its own? This is exactly how Marcus Aurelius saw life's hardships. He lived through betrayal, constant war, political pressure, and even a deadly plague that killed thousands. Yet, he didn't allow himself to be broken by it. Instead, he leaned into patience, enduring what he could not control, focusing only on what he could. He once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that for a moment. The storms outside, people, events, bad news, are beyond your command. But your inner response? That is yours to master. Modern life isn't free of storms either. Maybe your storm is losing a job, dealing with toxic people, or waiting for results you desperately want. Our instinct is often to panic, to force solutions. But the Stoics remind us, patience isn't sitting back helplessly. It's standing firm in the storm without letting it crush your spirit. Here's a relatable example. Imagine waiting for an important email, maybe a job offer or exam results. Your mind races with what-ifs. You refresh your inbox every 5 minutes. But does worrying change the outcome? Not at all. What if instead you use that waiting time productively, reading, exercising, or practicing a skill? Suddenly, patience becomes action in disguise. You're not wasting time, you're mastering it. Marcus Aurelius himself practiced this. When plague swept Rome, he didn't run or deny it. He calmly accepted that some things were out of his hands. He focused on helping others, on being fair, on ruling justly. Patience allowed him to endure hardship without being consumed by it. So what's the takeaway for us? When life throws storms at you, ask yourself, is this within my control or outside it? If it's outside, don't fight the thunder. Endure it with patience. If it's inside your control, act wisely, but not in panic. Here's a simple exercise. The next time you feel overwhelmed, practice the Stoic dichotomy of control. Write down 2 columns. One with things you can control, your actions, your words, your effort, and one with things you cannot control, other people's choices, time, luck. Then, let go of the second column. This clarity creates patience, and patience creates strength. Remember, storms don't last forever. Patience is what carries you until the sky clears. Buy things on credit because waiting feels unbearable. We want instant success, instant answers, instant results. But here's the paradox. The more impatient we become, the more restless and unhappy we feel. Marcus Aurelius, even 2,000 years ago, warned against this constant rush. His wisdom is more relevant now than ever. He knew that true power isn't in constant action, it's in stillness. Think about it. Some of the best decisions you've ever made likely came after waiting, reflecting, or stepping back. And some of your biggest regrets? They probably came from rushing. Imagine this scenario. You're angry at a friend for saying something hurtful. Your first instinct? Fire off a harsh text. But if you wait, if you pause, even for a day, you might realize it wasn't worth damaging the relationship. That silence, that patience, protects not only your peace, but also your future. Marcus lived by this principle. As emperor, he could command armies with a single word. Yet he often chose to delay, to reflect, to consider before acting. Why? Because patience gave him clarity, and clarity is what prevented costly mistakes. How do we apply this today? Here are a few practical ways. Digital patience. Next time you're stuck waiting in line, resist the urge to pull out your phone. Instead, observe your thoughts. Notice your surroundings. Train your mind to sit in stillness, even for a few minutes. Decision patience. Before making an important choice, give yourself at least 24 hours. Sleep on it. Marcus Aurelius journaled every day, and you can too. Write down the pros and cons. Clarity grows when the heat of emotion cools. Emotional patience. When someone offends you, remember his advice. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Instead of reacting, breathe. Choose silence, not as weakness, but as strength. Patience doesn't mean inaction. It means wise action at the right time. It's like holding a bow. If you release too early, the arrow falls short. If you hold it patiently, you hit the target with precision. So ask yourself, where in your life are you rushing? Relationships? Career? Self-growth? What would happen if you slowed down, trusted the process, and allowed time to work with you instead of against you? The truth is, the silent power of doing nothing is not about laziness. It's about discipline. It's about resisting the urge to react so you can respond wisely. It's about trusting that stillness often solves what rushing cannot. Summary. In our impatient world, practicing Stoic patience is a radical act of strength. By slowing down, waiting, and choosing when to act, you align with the wisdom Marcus Aurelius lived by. True power lies in stillness.